Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Just recently I released the video of my top 10 LEGO Star Wars minifigures of 2025, and now with the minifigures out of the way, I figured we could take the time and discuss the sets that came out this year, specifically my top 5 LEGO Star Wars sets of 2025. This excludes all of the UCS sets because I do not own any UCS sets, nor have I ever purchased one, but I am hopefully going to maybe next year, but who knows. But this is going to be my opinion, again, my opinion on what sets were the top 5, not being the UCS ones. So without further wait, let's go ahead and dive right into a couple of honorable mentions. So in our honorable mentions here, I first off have the Kamino Training Facility, then Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter, Jango Fett's Starship, and then the Separatist MTT. And that is in that order from like least to greatest, so the MTT just barely didn't make it into the top 5. But overall, all of these sets are very nice. They have some nice minifigures like the new Plo Koon, the new Jango Fett, and the amazing Clone Cadets, which you will see me talk about if you want to go over and watch the top 10 minifigs if you haven't already. And then I personally just really like the Separatist MTT. I do wish it was a little bigger. That was the one thing I was disappointed about when I did purchase that set, was just the size. But overall, I do think the minifigs and the functionality of that overall are very, very nice. And these are some very nice sets, but the ones in the top 5 are just better. So without further wait, let's go ahead and begin with number 5. So coming in at the number 5 spot here for me is a set that I feel like most people probably forgot came out this year, but I definitely didn't, and that is the Acclamator Class Assault Ship. This set came out in January, and I believe it was $50, but overall it's just a very nice, very cool looking set. I think it's very like sleek and smooth, and as far as the Starship collection goes, it just looks very, very nice and everything. And it also paired very well with all of the other midi-scale ships like the Invisible Hand and the Mon Calamari Star Cruiser, as you can see. So it's definitely a very nice ship. It looks very nice. It's definitely one we wouldn't have gotten any other way than in midi-scale. So I am definitely happy with this ship, and it deserves this number 5 spot. And then next up here in number 4 is another set that I feel like most people probably forgot about, but I feel like this one's a little more memorable than the Acclamator, that being the brick-built Star Wars logo. This came out back in May, and I believe it was $60, which it still is very nice for its price, and this set was definitely one a lot of people weren't expecting. It's very kind of like niche and out there, and I never would have thought LEGO would make this, but they definitely did very good with it. I like this one better than the Marvel one because you can't really tell it's LEGO until you look at it from a certain angle like you see here, or like if you get really close to it. And then it also does have the nice hidden Easter egg of the opening scene of A New Hope, which I do think is nice and really shows that it's like a classic, retro-y, like original Star Wars vibe, which is what I feel like LEGO was going for when they made this set. So it definitely deserves to be in the top 5 at this number 4 spot. And then next up here is a set that probably could be higher up on this list, potentially in the number 1 spot. However, it is going to be in number 3 simply because of sticker failure, and that is the Jango Fett helmet. Like, the one issue with it is really just the stickers that go all the way around the helmet, and that is for 2 reasons. The first reason is if you slightly misalign the stickers, then it throws off the whole rim around the helmet. And also, it really just should be printed because the sticker gray does not match the bricks that it is on. So that is pretty much the only downside of the set. However, since it is a main part of it, it is a major downside, which is causing it to be at number 3 instead of number 1. But then it also does have some cool functionality, and it is one of the few helmets that have functionality with his antenna rangefinder piece that can move up and down. And it also, I just feel like it looks really cool on a shelf. It is a very nice addition to the collection of Jango Fett sets that we got this year. Like on my shelf, I have this helmet, the Jango Fett minifigure. I connected it to the helmet thing. I actually have a video on how to make stands if you want to watch that. And then I have his Jango Fett's Starship playset right next to it, so it all just kind of fits together, and it's a very nice add-on to any sort of Jango Fett display you want to make, and it definitely deserves this number 3 spot. And then next up here in the number 2 spot is probably one of the weirdest and out of world but yet awesome sets of the year, that being the Gingerbread AT-AT Walker. This set came out recently in October for a price of $60, I believe, and it definitely is not what we would have expected. I mean, it's very nice looking, the minifigure is great. Even though it's really small, as you can see, it has a lot of functionality. It opens up and has an entire interior with the presents, the fireplace, the cockpit and everything. Even though the Vader minifigure can't quite fit in there, it still gets the idea across because it is just a holiday thing. And then also I did like the functionality of the legs on this one, and I do think this is a very neat idea. I honestly wouldn't be that upset if LEGO made like a mini AT-AT Walker with the normal colors like this one. I think that would be cool. I don't know if this is how the rumored one in January is going to be, but as far as this one is, I think it's perfect. It's very cool. It gets the holiday theme across, and it definitely deserves the number 2 spot on this list. And now, last but not least, in the number 1 spot for the best LEGO set of 2025, that is obviously not a UCS set, because that's how I do these, is one that probably will surprise most of you, but I just had to pick it, and that is the V-19 Torrent Starfighter. I know a lot of people didn't really like this one just because of the landed position, but I love this thing. I mean, it looks so nice, it's so detailed, very accurate. The old 2008 one, although bigger, does seem better when it comes to LEGO. It really wasn't that good because it just wasn't minifig scale, it just didn't fit. But this one is perfectly in scale. We got the new clone pilot thing with it. We got General Obi-Wan. We got Ventress. An amazing minifigure lineup. And then just the design on this is absolutely perfect. The functionality and everything. And then the yellow cockpit on it, I know a lot of people were kind of questioning it at first when the first leaked images came out, but then we realized that that is also accurate and the old one was inaccurate. But it's just an amazing set, very detailed, some awesome minifigures, and it definitely is the number 1 set of 2025 in my opinion. Well, folks, that is it for the video. That is my top 5 sets of the 2025 year. We have number 5, the Acclimator, number 4, the Star Wars logo, number 3, Jango Fett's helmet, number 2, the Gingerbread AT-AT, and then in the number 1 spot for me is the V-19 Torrent. I really do like all of these sets, but the V-19 is definitely the best out of these, and I think it was the best out of the year. If the MTT had been a little bigger and there were more droids and more functionality or more space in the rack for it, it probably would be number 1, but with that one out of the picture, I have to choose the V-19. I just think it's way better. But without that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and let me know what you think some of the best non-UCS sets of the year were in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, please make sure you do like and subscribe to help us reach our goal of 100 subscribers by the end of the year. At the time this video is being made, we are at 63, so we're definitely getting closer. Each day I'm getting a new subscriber, it seems, so make sure you do help us reach our goal. But that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you tune in for the next one.